Hello. Oh my god, I got the red light on. I guess we're live. I hope you all can see me and I hope my audio is working right. Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens when you try to work all this stuff yourself. And I'm just not very happy with the video previews we've been doing with all the foo-foo crap and all of the breaking news and the background music. The heck with all of that BS. I've had enough. I've got nephews and cousins trying to tell me, you gotta YouTube this way, you gotta do it this way. Oh, that ain't cool. Uh, you know what? I'm just about as cool as I'm going to get. I don't think that there's any way I could get any cooler except putting a bag of ice down my shorts. And that just ain't happening. Anyways, and I'm sure you old fogies out there can sympathize with me about the youngsters and trying to, you got to YouTube and you got to game and you got to do that. Oh, no, no. That's all fun, but sometimes, listen, I want to have an honest conversation with you. Honest adults. We're all grown up. We've all got kids. We've all got wives, ex-wives. We've all got everything. So I'm just going to do this without the interference and just come straight to you and let's just talk about stuff because we all got the same stuff to talk about, whether we want to talk about it or not. We got same stuff to talk about. We got wives, we got kids, we got dogs, we got cats, we got cars, we got all of this bullshit. Uh, and yes, this is not a conspiracy theory, and neither is my T-shirt. Okay, it's just there. Maybe I used to work there, maybe I didn't. Go figure. Actually, you can look it up on FAA and DoD website. Anyways, the hell with the kids and the hell with all of that stuff. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Q. I'm tired of the Republicans. And I'm trying to get my in the camera right. So this is one. I'm tired of Q, tired of the Republicans, tired of bullshit, tired of the Fed, tired of Governor Polis. Oh, let's see, and tired of masks, tired of businesses being, oh, we can only do this, so we can't do that. And they're, and I know that about at least half of you that are tuning into this and watching this shit feel the same way. Because this crap just ain't natural. We've all figured it out by now. We're all tired of it. And, you know, and then we're getting shut down. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're a white supremacist. You're a anti-LGBTVA. What? Oh, come on, guys. This has just gotten out of control. None of us care about that crap. What we care about is taking care of business, making sure we can take care of business, feed our families, put gas in the truck, and maybe get ahead a little bit. This last 20 years has been a bloody nightmare. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, everybody, that y'all know this. And I am very uninterested in cataloging the past. I am very uninterested in trying to hang people from Congress or hang the people from let's get the SOBs and hang them. Oh, let's run them out of, I am so aggressively uninterested in that stuff. And I was very interested in it for, God, a decade. I mean, hell, I had the gun store, the firearms business, and I was selling guns to the cops. I was teaching firearms instruction to anybody that would show up and was sober and could, not shoot me, kind of crap. And, I thought I was doing my part. We really did. We did the Ron Paul thing, we did the caucuses, we did everything. You thought, okay, we can change the Republican Party and the NRA from the inside. Well, for crap almighty, I am more broke, more upset, more pissed off than I ever was before I started that. And it's just like the computer revolution. It's like, oh crap, listen, it's going to save us all this time. And we're not going to use as much paper. And we'll get shit done quicker. Sure. That worked out real well for us, didn't it? We used twice as much paper, spent twice as much time, had more useless meetings, more useless technology, more crap, and just endless piles of crap. And then the companies we were working for went broke and got bought out by Alphabet? Oh, come on. We got suckered big time. We've all been suckered by this bullshit. It just, and I'm not laughing anymore. And, and I'm not trying to preach to the choir. And like I said, I am so aggressively uninterested in cataloging the past. And I am not, yes, they made their money off our backs. They developed all that technology and they developed this, that, and the other thing. And then they dribbled and drabbed it to us out um, um, Mike Sierra with the Viero. So I don't get, I got to watch my language here so I don't get banned or censored again. Anyways, what I'm really interested in is what are we going to do about it? Okay. We've cataloged everything from the Rothschilds down to the politicians. We've followed the Gessara, Nessara, uh, whatever savior program it may be, Jesus. And I'm not going to say the T word, but I'm very upset that the entire American population can be suckered in once again by a TV actor. Now think about this. Come on. I'm old enough to remember when Ronald Reagan got elected president. Do you, any of you guys out there remember how bad those old wagon train episodes were that we'd watch at 2 o'clock in the morning on Channel 4 on, in between, before they did the Star Spangled Banner? Do you remember those old wagon train episodes? Ronald Reagan. Okay. You remember his old movies? And he became president. And we felt, and we did, and we were like, "Hey, I'm cool with that." What'd that get us? Gordon Duff over at Veterans Today said that bought us a bunch of Bolsheviks. And I'm kind of inclined to believe him, even though I think he's full of crap. His real name's Bob Foot. I got pictures of him on a Kung Fu magazine from back in the 70s. And somewhere around here, I've got his cell phone number thanks to one of the other guys. But let's not pester him. I just had to bring that up to bring it up. And those of you in the know will know why I said that. I just have to make fun of, well, like the chicken people. I got to make fun of those blue chicken people and Corey and David and all of these characters. It's funny, and we bought into it, and I bought into it too. I did, and way back in the day, I used to, well, at the time I'd go over and spend time with my mother and her mother, right? And I'd just drop over there to see how things were going, make sure they were okay, kind of stuff. Every afternoon at about the same time, and it would be Channel 9 or Channel 4, I forget which channel it was. It was Denver, Colorado channel back then, 70s. And anyway, they have the news, and I think it was Days of Our Lives. Oh yeah, and then another, or was it, no, Another World, and then Days of Our Lives, and then another news program, and then it was time to make dinner, and that was their day. And I used to get sucked into it too. Go over there, and I'd be watching like Days of Our Lives, and I'd be thinking, hey, that Marlena chick's kind of hot. Huh? And so I'd start watching Marlena. Oh, Doc, Marlena, yeah, she's cool. And I got sucked into it just like that. Well, listen, I've been around since. The reason I brought this up, and the reason I said that, is because I was involved with the Libertarian Party since way back around 1979, and I worked for Ed Clark. He was the Libertarian candidate for president in 1980. And that's why I said all that stuff about Reagan and an actor and Ed Clark. And here is the bloody deal of it. It don't matter who gets elected, Republican, Democrat. It makes no difference. It's a false. It's a big show. It's like Days of Our Lives. Victor's still in a coma. Marlena's still doing what she's doing. The kids are still going crazy. Somebody's on trial for this or that and the other thing. And like I said, Victor still ain't out of coma. Okay? I brought this up because this is 2021. I'm going back to just right here, 1980. Now let's think back a little bit before this. Do you realize that Days of Our Lives and Another World were running way, 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 way back during the Watergate trials? I remember how upset my grandmother, Vera, and my mom, Clena, were that Sam Ervin bullshit, and I remember him because he was chairman of the Watergate Commission, he would interrupt their soap operas. And I remember watching those gosh dang Nixon trials, and Sam Ervin be sitting there going, and this is supposed to be something serious. What in the hell? And that was way the hell back in the 70s. Now, anybody that's tuning in watching this channel that's got more than 2 live cells to rub together knows that I ain't far off on this. Yes, it's funny. No, it's not funny. And I'm not really sure. He called it the apocalypse, which doesn't mean the end of the world. It's just a revealing. Well, Days of Our Lives from the 1970s and some of that bullshit that we used to talk about in the 70s. No, that'll never happen. No. It's in front of us. It's on our doorstep. It's here with the Cinco Hay. It's here with the beer bug. Now, there's a way out of this. There really is. We're smart, intelligent individuals. Well, we've all held positions of some kind of command of something or other, regardless of whether it's command of our own household or command of a truck going down the highway or command of, hell, hopefully our own brains. And it seems to me that that's the major problem, is having control of our own brains. And I agree, it's hard right now. We're being slammed by everything, slammed by every side. Huh? Crap, we're being slammed by the government, slammed by the money, slammed by the Cinco Hay, slammed by the beer bug, slammed by this, slammed by, oh, you got to do this and do that. You can't be safe unless you. Well, Jesus, that's the smartest damn beer bug I ever heard of. It can only jump 6 feet, or it can only come out on certain hours, and college parties and goddamn things like it. It's very smart. What is it? Zap you? You know, is it hovering out there? Is it directed by satellite? It comes down. Oh, there they are. Let's get them. I mean, the rationality or the irrationality of this crapola is beyond control. And we know it was done on purpose to shut down small business, small operators, anybody that could be independent and think for themselves. We all know that. Question is, what are we going to do about it? Well, here's the good news. We can all do something about it. For real. And there's been a lot of other people talk about this same thing. I'm sure you've heard, anybody that's even had a cursory experience with the internet over the last 20 years has heard the, conspiracy theories. And God, I remember back in the really good days of the internet, and this was way before David Icke and his ilk. And, man, UUNet, and people were posting documents, and research was great. You could delve into stuff that wasn't available in the libraries. The libraries only went so far. And, and gosh, man, way back in the 90s when we were dealing with dial-up connections and UUNet and some of these places, that's when the internet, and we go to university websites and see things and do different things, and the information dumps were absolutely fantastically just unbelievable, and that's where we got clued into suppressed technology and what actually didn't happen down at Roswell, and what actually happened at the Carswell, and what actually happened over here. That's when the good stuff was there. And then, of course, it got co-opted because, the internet was basically a creation of DOD and DARPA, and they knew that it was going to, they leaked out a little bit and got guys like me and everybody else really interested. And then what did we do? We spent our own money to build out their infrastructure with routers and video cards and this and that and the other thing. It was guys like us, and we were all part of it. If we've been part of this computer game, we've helped them build out the infrastructure. They gave us a little taste and gave us this and fed us this and fed us that, and it's like, okay, we can run with that. And then we kept demanding more, and they kept feeding it to us just as fast as we could take it. We built this infrastructure on our backs, and Skynet, if it goes haywire and AI shit, guess what? We have nobody to blame but ourselves, because we built this shit. Every single one of us. We bought routers, we bought switches, we upgraded to Cat 5e, we did this, we did that. We replaced video cards. Oh, we need more memory in this, we need to speed this up. Think about it. I'm sorry to say it. I really am. We built this crap. Oh, yeah. I just threw out, oh, God, probably 1,200 pounds of old books devoted to programming and computer languages, and most of it fucking Microsoft crap. These old things, these really thick things. I mean, I used to have to study those and take online tests, and then go to Grand Junction and take written tests and to get certified, to be a certified systems engineer, to deal with the Microsoft bullshit. And look at how they sucked all the money out of my wallet. Sure, I made money back, but the work I had to put into it versus what I got back, I really think it sucked, and I wound up working and building out that fucking infrastructure, which is today fucking with us and slamming us down. Yeah. And anybody that's worked in the industry since crap, uh, anybody that's worked in the industry since 1995 has got to come to this realization. And I've worked in this industry since Windows 95. Was when I first had to start taking tests to be certified. And I think that was back in the year, whatever, 1994, 1995, 1996, or so that they would like us to think. But God, Windows, remember how big of a deal Windows 95 was? Ooh, yeah. It's going to save us all this time, and we're going to say we spent more time, more reams of paper, more late night meetings, more fucking funky technology crap that you can even shake a stick at. Crap, I worked for MSI out in Vegas, and we were a subcontractor for a couple of outfits. And that was back in the days, I had to carry a pager. I'm the network administrator, and I'd go home, I had to take a pager. And you're like, 2:30 in the morning, the damn thing would go off. Oh, crap, call in. All right, phone in. All right, what the hell happened? All right, God damn it. All right, crap, I'll be down. Get dressed, drive down there, go take a box offline, replace a hard drive, put the drive back in, restore it from backup, and, by then it's time to go get breakfast and coffee. At least we got paid well. But, I mean, crap, couldn't we have been doing better stuff? And we all went home and we had our own systems and stuff, and we tried to work on things and getting, but it really, where did it get us? Most of the technology that we worked on to try to develop for our own businesses, our own livelihoods, thinking we could make a buck out of this, and I'm going to get in on this. And hey, look, I was working for a great company, MSI. We were a DoD subcontractor. We were doing at least as well. We were doing as well or better than our competitors. I was in senior management. I had stock options. I had the whole 9 yards. And upper management went sidetrack. We got bought out. Everybody got laid off and then rehired at a lower rate and then eventually eliminated. And I'm like, well, what the hell? And all of the code, all of the crap, and all of the hardware shit that I developed, hardware shit, software shit, whatever it was I developed, is property of whoever bought that shit, and I never got a dime. I kept the damn thing running. We all did. Hey, we got stock options, we're doing great, and we got suckered. We got suckered. We got suckered into developing this technology that is now being weaponized against us. It's being weaponized against us in the stock market, and it's blatantly been weaponized against us in this Cinco hay and beer bug fiasco. Because if you take and plug the common cold into a computer model and keep pressing the plus button, you're going to get a way good bell curve. And it has nothing to do with reality. Fear. Perception. Okay. It's a weapon. If I can make you think that the world is coming to an end, you will run around like Chicken Little, buy a whole bunch of tarps, unplug your computers, and hide in the basement and wait for the day to change over, just like my father-in-law did back in 1999. It's true, and we've all fell for this, and we've all been victim to it. I'm not immune. My kids aren't immune, God bless, and they, because it was foisted on them. Us oldsters are smart enough to be able to figure this out. And my business partner, he's got a few years on me. He's even smarter than me and says, "Oh, I saw this before they even did that and before they did that." And I'm like, slap my forehead? What the fuck? It's been right in front of us the whole damn time. Just absolutely. It's amazing. And I'm not immune to it. You're not immune to it. And we've got to come to grips with the fact that, well, we've been had. I know that's kind of a bitter pill to swallow. But you know what? After being married twice and dealing with two sets of in laws and dealing with all of the crap that came out of that, it's not much of a stretch for me to believe that business and government and everything has been lying to me for my entire life, and I've just been duped up one side and down the other. Hold my hands up. I'm guilty. I admit it. I willingly let myself be screwed by the system, the whole deal, the parents, the banking, the Catholics, the marriage, the doctors. I mean, just the whole 9 yards. And it was a bitter pill, and it took me a long time to get to this point. It ain't fun. And it ain't fun because then you're like, oh, damn it. If I'd have known this or I'd have known that, or if I'd have just known we were being screwed, I could have got out ahead of everybody else and gone, ha ha, fuck you. Huh? Wrong thinking. Okay, and yeah, those characters over there, they made all of their money and did all of their shit off our backs. Where do you think they got the money to do what they did? And none of that stuff, it's absolutely verboten. It's us plebeies. Alright? But they developed it out of our money. Oh, maybe they thought they were doing okay. It doesn't matter. Anyways, like I said, we don't need to try to hang these people or get any retributions or try to claw anything back. That is totally the wrong thinking. As much as I'd like to. 10 years ago when... Cliff High said a lot of good stuff about this. We're in Woo land right now. Okay, we're right in between. We know about everything is just woo, right? We know that el, el bailante presidente is el false. We know the stock market's fucked up. It always has been. We know the precious metals market's fucked up. Always has been. We know that the socio-political bullshit, is fucked up because obviously our kids ain't learning crap in school, and we're trying, and then on top of that you throw in the beer bug and the fear bug. We're all so screwed up, and they did this to us on purpose, and it has nothing to do with we've seen conspiracy shit. God, I remember my first conspiracy book that I ever first saw, and it was called None Dare Call It Conspiracy. I forget who it was written by. It wasn't more than 200 pages, and it talked about mass arrests and the secret handlers and the blah blah blah. And when I first saw that book, that was like in 1965, and that thing had to have been printed in 10 years before I saw it, 55. So this bullshit is not new. It's been going around forever. Question is, all right. It's kind of like what's going on with my ex-wives and my in-laws. They're guilty of a whole bunch of crimes. And they are. And the Jefferson County attorneys even said they're guilty of these crimes. And I'm like, yes, they destroyed my business, they destroyed my family, and they destroyed my son. What are you going to do about it? That pause there was intentional because that's exactly what I heard when I asked that question to that person. There wasn't even any crickets, just silence. And that's when I realized that, oh my God, they're not here to protect me, my son. There's no way for me to claw back what was stolen by my mother-in-law and her husband. And I'm like, okay, I'm totally effing alone. Where do I go from here? The silence was deafening. I would have been glad to hear crickets because at least I would have been able to hear something. It's not easy. We're all going to have to come to grips with this in our own way. Now, most of us are alpha males. Most of us are in agriculture. Most of us know how to work on trucks, tractors. We've been taking care of cats, kids, dogs, wives, crap, machinery, land, water, all of our lives. We're not dumb. Uh, I could cut my hair and I can break into perfect college diction and pronounce every, and be that. No, I don't like to speak that way. I would prefer just to be the way I am. If I want to have a little twang and drawl, if I want to say y'all, that's fine. If I want to do this, do that, you know, I'm going to get up and go out in the morning, sniff the air, and go, okay, I need to go check my beehives. I'm not going to, that's just the way I'm going to be. And we got to get back into being to that kind of attitude thinking, I think. And I hate to think, I'm not going to say anything collectivism, but like-minded people, like us old country boys, that have we got experience, we got long memory. We got family behind us that has long memory. We're protecting them because, that's one thing I gotta just say this. I appreciate this about the Navajo Native people so much because their entire history is oral, and they were labeled uncivilized because they didn't have any written language. But do you realize that their oral history is inviolate? I'm sorry, inviolate. It's passed down and passed down and passed down, but it cannot be changed or embellished or anything by penalty of the honor of the people. And I've had the great experience of talking with these people, and they are just absolutely inviolate of their oral history tradition. And yeah, think about that. It means a lot. It really does. And see, that goes back to that relates right back to our own families. We have our own oral traditions of our families. I know where Uncle Noble blew his leg off, and where and Uncle Benny and my cousins, that's. But see, the way the Navajos do it is just a little different because they do it in a macro scale, and they got that macro scale of that picture, you know, and it doesn't vary, it doesn't change. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not gonna question the uh, accuracy or efficacy, but it just does not change. And I respect them as a people because they hold to that. You know? And it's just one of those things. You kind of like that stuff, or, you know. Anyways, going back to solutions. Hmm. Well, there's a couple of different ones. I'm going to try to keep this one 90. First thing, absolute first thing, and just like the survival manual says, it's 90% attitude. Okay? If you think that you're going to get, your farm's going to get overrun, you're going to get beat down, the government's going to come to get you, they're going to force you into vaccinations, they're going to push you into violence. If you have that mindset, you will draw that to you like a neodymium magnet. Word, brother. I'm serious. I'm telling you this from my personal experience. It ain't fun. I've been a targeted individual. Targeted, I mean really targeted. White vans out in front of my house, uh, spikes and crap thrown in the driveway, interference with the shut the power off, fuck with the satellite internet, screw with my cell phone, invade my answering machine, invade my computer. I've been through the damn. Hmm? Don't talk about it much, but it started way back when I was 14 years old and I was in Catholic school. Okay. Uh, I used to be a crozier bearer for an archbishop of a local diocese. You don't get to that point without learning something. Okay? And I learned a lot of stuff. And being young and impressionable at the time, I thought this is way cool. Because I wanted to go to military school. My folks couldn't afford to send me to military school. Next best thing was Catholic school. I was severely disappointed. I wanted, just like the Scouts, I wanted to be with the real Nazis, the real Hitler Youth, the real, shit. And I wound up with these second-rate pansy MFers. And yeah, they were second-rate pansy MFers. Because me and the other guys that were real serious hardcore punks, we quit that shit. I stayed with the Catholics as I had to. I had to kind of go along to get along, kind of thing. But the Scouts, oh man, we raged. Once we went rebel, we raged. Yeah. You remember the old Estes rocket pledge that said, I will never fire these against, I won't make this. We completely reversed all of that stuff and turned it right back on their ass. We had to. And it was because we realized that, the richer, wealthier parents or whatever could take their kids down to J.C. Penney's and buy them all the official Boy Scout crap. And they were the cool ones. And if you didn't have that, you weren't cool. Oh, you're a second-rate scout. No, I'm a first-rate scout because I got a 22 and you don't even have a BB gun. Anyways, that was some fun times. I'll talk about that if you want me to get into that. Just like, subscribe, and hit the thumbs up button, and I'll get me a couple of shots and a 6 pack of tall boys and a fresh can of Skull, and I'll rock and roll on that one. I can go all night on that crapola. Speaking of which, wonder what the hell ever happened to Drake. He was fun to listen to. I know a lot of you don't know who he is. Drake Bailey. He was part of that con job with David Wilcock, and that's what later evolved into the chicken people, the blue chicken people, and that kind of stuff. Which I know I got sidetracked into some of that crapola too, just like the fucking Boy Scout bullshit. Oh, and I hadn't thought about it in 20 years. And I just happened to notice on the internet the other day that the Boy Scouts have now been sued. I guess that this might be old news, but I just found out about it. The Boy Scouts have been sued and almost bankrupted from pedo scoutmasters and all the claims filed. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, guys, no wonder we bailed out of there. They were. We went fishing and we got girly magazines and got chewing tobacco and did whatever, but we bailed the hell out of there. We bought Chevys and went out with girls, and we did okay. I'd actually rather, think about it. That was okay, because I'd rather think about the days of my Oldsmobiles and Chevelles and the girlfriends and the drive-ins rather than be trying to sue the Boy Scouts for money over being pedo molested or whatever it was went on. I know, yeah, and when I was there, I knew there was always creepy, like my gym teacher, he was creepy. And my my music teacher, he was creepy. And, us guys, we just tried to stay away from those other creepy guys. They were just creepy, We went and hung out with the girls and, tried to peek into locker rooms and crap like that, I don't know. I sure didn't like the gym teachers. I was pretty good at athletics, too, for being a short white guy. Gym teachers are just fucking creep. My music teacher was the creepiest. Oh, he was just so creepy. And it was like, oh, I quit going to music lessons with him, and I rode the bus down to 5 Points down in Denver, and I hung out with black guys and smoked joints, and I learned how to play the trumpet, the trombone, and some other stuff, and have fun, and eat good food, and hang around with cool people, and see cool cars, and that was way better, and my parents just absolutely had a fit, because they lived out, South Littleton, Aberdeen Village, and I had to go to St. Mary's School, and I got kicked out of there all the damn time. I had to back and forth to public school. That's another story. Send me an email. But damn it, I would. And back then it was kind of funky, and I had to, do it on the QT. But I, fucking ditch the fucking school about 2 o'clock, 2:30, get up to Broadway, fucking take the bus all the way downtown, walk a few blocks, and then I'd be in a black neighborhood. I'd be a white guy in a black neighborhood carrying a trumpet case. And I had no fear whatsoever. None. It didn't matter. No fear. There were not evil people selling narcotics on street corners with switchblades or anything. I never saw anything like that. All I saw was a bunch of really cool people playing music and eating good food and hanging out. Yeah. So I don't really understand, and I never could understand why my parents didn't want me hanging around with other people. Huh? It just, I was like, what's wrong with you? I don't get it. Why can't I go hang out with my friends? They never would come out and say, because they're B, or because we don't, or because they're not like, but they would just make such an implication of it and that psychological programming. And I know any of us who grew up in the 50s and 60s and late 40s, we've all been part of this psychological thing with the TV and this programming and the bullshit. And we just got to chuck it, brothers, sisters. I chucked it. I grew my hair long. No, it was more than that. I mean, I chucked that shit a long time ago, even when I had short hair and I had to wear a uniform. Okay? I chucked it way back then. And I'm chucking it again now. All this divide. Oh, you can't hang out with them. Or oh my God. And this really goes to something that's happened to, I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this day, the division of the Democrats and Republicans. I've got friends that I've known for 20 years. And they won't talk to me because I won't be a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an independent. And hell, I've been worked for Ron Paul. I've been, like I said in the first part of this video, I worked for Ed Clark back in 1980. My first legal vote that I ever cast when I was old enough to vote was for Ed Clark. I worked on his campaign. I met him. I went to rallies. I was a very young man. And libertarians, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to say that they're no better than the Democrats or the Republicans. It's all a program, a divisive program. And I'm not here to bag on anybody, but I'm telling you the truth of it, that I found out in my own life and my own family, that this Democrat, Republican, Irish, English, Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, Christian, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, left, right, it's they don't make enough baking soda to counteract the heartburn that this shit has caused over our lifetimes. Over our entire lifetimes. We've heard our parents argue about it. We've heard our grandparents argue about this shit. And we still hear the so-called politicians and leaders and now we got Bill Gates. Oh my God. That guy couldn't, he had to fucking swipe everything and be part of a ruling eugenicist family to get what he's got. And now he's trying to tell us that, oh my God, we can't live anymore. We have to eat fake meat. We've got to wear masks. We've got to take these vaccines. We got to do this. We got to do that. And that motherfucker has been the perpetrator of the biggest ripoff shit on this computer crap, like I was saying earlier. We'd have been so much better off sticking with Unix. We'd use less paper. This shit's easy to understand. This Microsoft monopoly stuff, and he's just, and it's all come out of Langley and CIA and Alphabet, and don't think for 1 minute that guy had any fucking, or does have any natural talent to do anything. He's not. He's a front. He's a shill. He thinks he's hot stuff. No, he's cold turd on the floor of the chicken coop. Oh my God. And we're falling for it. And we have fallen for it. Go into the DMV and look at their computer systems. It's all fucking Microsoft or derivative thereof. It's just crapola. That's why it doesn't work right. You know, in my entire career working with Microsoft, I was forced to. I had to. Oh, you want to get your paycheck? You got to go down and take this test and read this book. Blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah yeah yeah. None of this crap has ever worked right. Nothing connected with Microsoft or Apple. Seriously. If you're in the tech community, there's other stuff out there. You just have to know where it is. That stuff works correctly. Unix, Linux, there's different hardware setups. And you know what? It works way different, works way nice. But no, we got to do it this way. And if you don't do it this way, we're going to come after you. You won't get your paycheck. Oh, so wait a minute. I have to lie to somebody and commit fraud to get my paycheck. And my God, this sounds like politics. Am I working in big tech or am I working in city council? Huh? Huh? What? Oh, while I'm doing this, I got to give a big shout out to Martin Leidke at Flat Earth British. He's cool. Uh, Preston James, uh, Mike Harris, Gordon, uh, over at VT. Get your head together, brother. I know you're a faction. I'm just not sure which faction. And if your faction comes up against my faction, you'll have a bad day. Because you're old and your weapons are fucked up. Anyway, that's just my shout out. I got to throw that in there. His real name's Bob Foot. And I remember when he was on the Kung Fu front of a martial arts magazine with him and his puffy haired buddy and their guard dog. And that must have been the gig that they were doing after Vietnam and they couldn't get paid by when there was a time, I guess, that their department of CIA went broke and they didn't have any money, so they were out shucking and jiving. Fuck. In the 70s, Nixon and in phase one and whip inflation. Now, hell, we were all fucked up. That was the first time my family's business got taken down. Was in fucking 1972 by Richard Nixon. I've got a long memory. I'm one of them motherfuckers they're trying to eliminate. Anyways, I'd started this off about saying how aggressively uninterested I was in cataloging the rights and wrongs and trying to get retribution on the perpetrators. What I am aggressively interested in is what do we do now? Where do we go forward? How do we go forward? All right, look, we know about all the bullshit. We know about the Jews. We know about the Vatican. We know about Gessar and Nassara, revaluation of the dinars and the bullshit, and we know about the Federal Reserve, and everybody's done all this research. We know Alex Jones is fucked up, and I'm not even gonna. I really want to get down on you motherfucking Trump tards because you guys really fucked up the freedom movement. You just don't know how bad you did it, and you're gonna find out. But where do we go from here? Okay. This is what I'm interested in. We've cataloged all of this stuff in the past. We know about the fraud, and we know about this, and we know about the birth certificates, and we know about the Vatican, and we know about the reptilians and the blue avians and the secret space program and all of this. We know about it. We've heard about it. 6 ways from Sunday, from alternate media, from sometimes even mainstream media. We've heard about all of it. Okay, we've cataloged it all. We know it all. Okay. Where do we go from here? What are we going to do about it? Okay. With this knowledge base of information, all the stuff that we've gleaned over the last decade, okay, Cliff High would, I don't know if you watch him or not, but he's got a point. We're in, last year was the first 0 year of Woo 0. This is Woo 1, year Woo 1. And it used to be the stuff we call woo woo, right? Now it's like real, real. So last year was Woo 0. This is year Woo 1. Okay? So everything from here on out is going to be so brand new that we won't be able to reference it to, oh, well, I remember back in the 70s. But see, it's going to get so weird and change so fast that we're not going to be able to reference it to any point in past time. Otherwise, we're always going to be trying to play catch up, which is where the powers that were want us to stay. I know that's a stretch. You're going to have to bear with me on this. And I liken this to, the SBA and the government, where they go, oh, we have a problem. Oh, okay. And, all right, on the timeline of the problem, there's the realization, then there's the talking about it, then there's, okay, maybe we can do something about it, and then, okay, we're going to implement this, and then we get to implementation, and we find out that our implementation is absolutely incorrect and wrong, and it's not solving the problem because we didn't take into account the change in the timeline and the functionality of things as they flow forward. So by the time we backthink it, it's too late. All right? And this is what they say they want a great new paradigm, a great new reset. Well, I would actually like a half a dozen people to think like Cliff High and Josh here and my brother do. So instead of thinking backwards on a problem and trying to use a backward solution to a forward problem, we realize the problem and think a forward solution and change the paradigm. And that is a change in perception. Okay? Because once you change the perception, you change the reality. Once you change the reality, you bend the timeline. This is not hard to understand. It doesn't take Cliff High. It doesn't take the Vatican. It doesn't take Janet Yellen in the Federal Reserve. It doesn't take anybody but ourselves to go, whoa. Hello, motherfucker, wake up. It's been in front of you the whole damn time. Pardon my French. And listen, I love Cliff High, and I think he's cool, and I understand the stuff he's been working on, and I'm glad he's okay from all the stuff he's been through. Not all of you agree with him. You don't have to. But you know what? The man is intelligent. He's got good points. And he's got things that we can think about. And if you understand how to think and apply these things, like Boscovich and my college education is very limited. Okay? I had hit and miss of academics and practicality. My business partner he is a little better versed in some of this stuff than I am because he was heavily immersed also in practicality at the same time. He just happened to have a little better learning environment than I did. My learning environment was, well, needless to say, retarded. I made the best of it and I got what I could and did what I could. And he understands this a little better than I do, especially on the electric side. But one thing that we do agree on is we've both been lied to about this electric business, and this goes way back to, yeah. They want to say a lot of stuff about Tesla and the Rockefellers and the J.P. Morgans, but you know what? That's all a effing smoke screen to get you devised and not looking at what you're supposed to look at. Because really, go back and look too, and don't even, please, don't pay any attention to Einstein. The guy's a shill, just like, what's that black guy that shills on TV? Einstein's no better. But do your own research and go back to the real electromagnetic theory that predates the supposed Tesla. Go back to T. Townsend Brown. Uh, there's a couple of Russians. I can't think of their names right off. Cliff High can help me out with that. But our electrical theory is way fucked up. And once you understand that you understand that we can change this whole damn thing by perception. We don't have to destroy anybody's jobs. We don't have to destruct anything that's in place. We don't have to disturb anything. Nobody's going to go without power, heat, food. The only reason they're going to go without that stuff is because these so-called elites that have taken over our monetary system are creating everything as a shortage to subjugate us. Okay? There's plenty of power, plenty of food, and plenty of us people to run things. And I'll get on with this in a different light, so maybe it's more understandable. But I know I've captured a few of you out there. I'm seeing by the response on some of the chat replies and some of the stuff going on here on my own website that I'm doing, this is a closed circuit just for nutcases like me that want to listen, but my chat replies and things are coming back and I'm hitting the mark and want me to talk about different things and, change my lighting. And yes, I know my hat's from EG&G. So's my t-shirt. I did that on purpose. Yes, because that's the Janet, That's the EG&G Trident and the little smiling 737. And I'll give you 2 guesses where I got this hat and this t-shirt. And I'm going to give you the first one free. There used to be a friend of mine out in Nevada. His name was Glenn Campbell. No relation to the singer, Glenn Campbell. And, he's a cool guy. And him and I fought the child support and the bullshit. And he's a cool stand-up guy. And I know him. He gave me some of this stuff. And some of the other stuff I got when I worked for MSI because MSI was a contractor for, you guessed it, Edgerton, Germhauser, and Greer. And no, I can show you my paycheck stubs. Some of them came from MSI International. Some of them are stamped Naval Intelligence. And some of them are stamped EGG. Yeah. But you know how many thousands of people and hundreds of people work there in different things. And, the janitor that runs the blower that sweeps the walkway is a subcontract. His company subcontracts for EG&G, so he could be a UFO expert. God damn it! That's the kind of bullshit we've been dealing with in the alternative media. My brother-in-law works at EG&G. Oh yeah, he works for the landscaping company that fucking sweeps the parking lot. Sure, he knows what's going on. And this is the kind of crap that's been going on in the internet for 20 years, well, I ain't gonna say, I mean, my subscribers and my friends know, but you newbies and normies out there, it's been going on for 20, well, before you were born. Huh? I was born in 62. My ex-wife Brittany was born in 80. And yeah, and so you guys that came along anytime, you've just been the media, everything, video games, have no clue. And especially if you don't have any older relatives that can think, way back in I remember when the TV first showed up. If you don't have any relatives that can tell you about old electricity and old stuff and old newspapers and what they felt and saw, if you do have them, you cherish them, you treat them like gold, and you pump their brains for information because it's gold. And you treat them so, yeah, we can't let our generations go, man. And they're that's a big thing. That's why I'm so up in arms about this vaccination bullshit and what they've been doing. They're trying to kill the people. All right, let me put it, I'm just going to come right out and say it because I'm going to get kicked off of YouTube. I've already been kicked off of Facebook. I'm going to get kicked off of every platform already because I'm going to say it right what it is. This is a genocide program to kill old people and to kill their memories and to kill their knowledge. And I'll say it again. This is a genocide program to kill old people and kill their memories and kill their knowledge. And I will have nothing to do with it. That is valuable. We need that as a society to survive. We have to venerate our elders and preserve their knowledge to survive as a race and a society. They wiped out the Urs and the White Russian people in the Bolshevik Revolution. Who were the first people they went after? The old people, the teachers, and the farmers. And that was in Russia before 1917. Don't believe me? Look it up. It's in the books. Read the books. Don't mess around with Wikipedia. They can change that every day. Read the books. Look at the books. Support your local librarian. I'm serious. And support your local library. Go down there and really support your local librarian. You might find out that she's a hot MILF and really nice to talk to. And go down to your local library and ask if you can go down into the reference room. Wash your hands, be nice, and treat books nice. And just say, hey, I want to look at old encyclopedias from like 1917. Or 1900. Better yet, 1890. Seriously, man. If you go down to your local library, treat the librarian really nice and ask him, I want to look at the oldest encyclopedia you got. She won't even ask you why. She'll just take it and show it to you. And it'll blow your damn mind, man. It's night and day. I was fortunate enough to grow up and have access and be in places where we had really good libraries. and really good librarians. And there is no replacement for these books. There is Wikipedia and Google Earth, and yeah, it's all nice. No, 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 it's not. Go look at the real printed stuff that cannot be changed. Go check it out. But you gotta go do it, man. You just gotta go do it. Make some time, whatever. I know you probably got kids, you probably got whatever. But take 15 minutes, go down to the library and go, I want to see the oldest encyclopedia. And just open it up and very carefully turn the pages and just let it soak into. If you've never done it before and you're not used to it, you'll get tunnel vision, you'll warp out a little bit, and it'll freak you. It will, because that's how much they've changed the paradigm and changed the frequency. And I told you I was going to drink and smoke on air. Yeah, I am. This show is not for children. It's for adults only. We won't show or discuss anything of a prurient nature, but we will discuss adult topics. We will smoke and we will drink. We're adults. Anyways, I'm glad y'all could join me for a little while tonight. I appreciate the kicks on the live stream. I appreciate you listening to me rant. Yeah, I know. Gordon Duff and yeah, I do know some other things about that, but I'm not going to disclose it just out of politeness. And I appreciate the questions in chat, and I appreciate the thumbs ups and the yeah buddies, and I really appreciate getting shit about my Janet hat and my Groom Lake Day shirt and my bathrobe. I was just doing that as kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of shout-out thing to somebody that I really respect. One of the researchers and guys I respect, which I've followed a lot, is Dr. Joseph Farrell. I know I don't care whose side he's on, but he's done some really good research. And him and Catherine Austin Fitts seem to hit it off really well. I like her. I don't care what faction she's part of. But Dr. Joe, I really get into Dr. Joe because he smokes, wears a cowboy hat, and plays the organ. And I think that Joseph Farrell is just cool because of that. I don't care if you like his research or not. It doesn't matter. Don't give me any crap in the chat or the email if you don't like Dr. Joe. But I get a kick out of Joseph Farrell, and I'll put in a plug for his website. It's GizaDeathStar.com or Giza Death Star Community. Just look up Giza Death Star or Joe Farrell. You'll find him. He's got some good stuff to say. He's a researcher. And my God, he footnotes and document. If he says something, he's got footnotes to back it up out the wazoo. And that's what makes him a very valuable ally, is because whether you agree with him or not, his research and footnotes, and that's what we really like to see in the research department, is footnotes, footnotes, footnotes. Show me where. If you research this, show me where you got it. Show me your footnotes. Show me your sources. Show me the results of your experiment so I can duplicate it. That's the key in this, I don't care whether you're in electrical wiring or UFO research. It doesn't matter. Show me your source. Show me your footnotes. Show me how you wired the son of a bitch. Okay? Is this NEC? No, okay, let's go across the street and see how the other guys did it. It really comes down to that, okay? Because all this stuff about the secrecy and the secret money and the bullshit, it ain't going to be worth a goddamn crap anymore. They're going to be selling that stuff on the sidewalk. So get used to the new woo, as Cliff would say. Get used to the new woo land. Mm. In the meantime, during the new woo land, we have to figure out how we're going to survive. Because if the currency goes to shit and they don't stock the grocery stores anymore and we can't pump gas out of the gas tanks and they don't deliver it to the Shell station, how in the motherfucking hell are we going to get along? Okay? Think about it. This last bullshit with the lockdowns and the mask wearing and the bullshit. Whoa, that was pretty freaky. Now, what happens if it's not just toilet paper? What happens if the fucking power goes out? We can't pump gas out of the ground. We can't get the water plant to flow. We can't flush the John. We can't drink water. What would happen if something happened with the fucking economy, or the men with small hats decide to pull the plug, or or the, oh my God, we got a pandemic virus and we've all got to lock in our houses and shut everything off. Can you see where I'm going with this? They've already tried it on us. Okay? Okay? What are they going to pull next? A nuclear warhead? A fake nuclear warhead or a real one? This could get kinetic and serious real quick. And no, listen, I'm not one to doom and gloom. There's enough of those fucking people on the internet to choke us to death. I mean, every time we turn into the internet is a economic disaster or pending nuclear war, or the Koreans are coming to get us, or the virus is going to mutate, or the goddamn bed bugs or sinkholes. I mean, Jesus, it's a never-ending cacophony of crap that's going to come and get us. Okay, well, yeah, but that's like Johnny crying wolf or sticking your finger in the dike. Now, wait a minute. There is a point in time where some things have to be taken seriously. And if these motherfuckers can warp the weather and shut the power off in Texas and destroy a fruit crop, destroy a $2 billion springtime, and destroy, by manipulating the weather and manipulating the power, they destroyed billions of dollars and killed many, many people. Killed. And if it wasn't a hard kill because of the cold, it's a soft kill because of the economic fallout. Don't believe me? History books prove it out. Best one I can think of right now that's non-biased would be Fruits of Graft by Wayne Jett. Okay, read that one. That'll freak you out. Hey, listen, the weather warfare bullshit is nothing new, and it's not a conspiracy theory. You can go on Google Earth right now and go to the national, in fact, don't even fuck with Google Earth. Go to the National Weather Service. Go to the geo satellites and walk through the color spectrums. You can see where the ship channels are, and those ships at sea are burning bunker fuel, that dirty crap, and they're putting it up in the air. You can see where the planes are flying along and laying down patterns of trail. And you can see the fucking rotation of the Earth's atmosphere. Don't even fuck with Google Earth. Google sucks. It's part of the CIA. And just go to National Weather Service and go to the geo satellites and and look through the spectrums. It's right in front of everybody to see. You can see the ship tracks where the ship's going back and forth. They're burning bunker fuel. They're exhausting this into the atmosphere. You know what bunker fuel is? It is the dregs of refineries. And most of the time it's just flat crude oil. And it's got everything in it. I mean, everything. It's toxic as all hell. You can't even if you're working on a ship and you get bunker fuel on your skin, you have to go to sick bay and they have to detox you and do all and chelate you and do all this crap. That's how fucking toxic bunker fuel is. All right. Now let's talk about aviation fuel. What they're currently burning is called JP8 is military, JP6, JP7 for these new turbofans like the one that blew itself apart over Denver last week. Those are running JP6, JP7, JP5. They can shit. You can fucking burn kerosene in those, and it's cleaner. But they fucked with the fuels in the refining process, adding metals to them to make them a little more energetic. Okay. One of my good YouTube buddies, naval historian, his name is Drakenefel. He's got a channel on YouTube, and he's got several discussions about how naval ships and different navies and certain navies and certain ships and certain battles were defeated because of the low energy of their fuel. Okay, specifically back in the old days where you had coal-fired boilers. Okay, if you had a low grade of coal, you had a low-fired boiler. You weren't coming up. You might only make 70. You'd be lucky to make 70% of the steam pressure and way ahead that you could. If an energetic coal, really good energetic coal, you get those boilers firing up, and boy, you had a steam head. You could make 98%. But if you had low energy bunker coal, same thing with low energy bunker fuel. And modern ships burn bunker. It's nasty. Even the turbines. The turbines burn shit that's akin to, oh fuck, kerosene JP2. But those goddamn huge ass Mother and Maersk Hyundai built cargo ships. Those motherfuckers run on a diesel engine. It's got a piston about that big around. It's got a 200-to-1 compression ratio. And that motherfucker will burn crude oil if it's heated up enough to make it flow. And it burns it nastier than ugh. And that ain't soot coming out of those marine ships. That is just dreg burning bunker crap. I don't know how else to describe it. Now, what's coming out of the jet fuel? The JP4s, the JP3, 4, 5 on up, very heavy in aluminum. Aluminum is a catalyst. Anybody that's ever made their own homemade firecrackers knows that. Well, we refine a little bit of kerosene, throw some aluminum, some beryllium, some other crap into it, and we just cook up a fuel and we call that JP. Now that pyrolyzes through the engine, of course, and it gets mixed with atmosphere and it burns and the condensate, okay? And yeah, we've been breathing that shit for a lot of years, and they burn it in the railroad diesel engine. Those things have to burn a little cleaner by virtue of what they do. But it's still just chucking shit. We're being bombarded by all sides. We're having all this crap chucked in the atmosphere. We're being bombarded by radio waves. We're being bombarded by GMOs. We're this and that and the other thing. And then, oh man, we have to mention the Cinco. Hey. And I have to be like Jeff Berwick. I got a Cinco, hey. Otherwise, we'll get banned from Stalin Tube. Or should I call that Rockefeller Tube? I met one of you Rockefeller clowns one time. Yes, I did. I used to work private security up in Aspen with a really good friend of mine. Yeah, it was back in the day, man. We had uniform shirts. My hair was buzzed down to nothing. I didn't have a mustache. I was clean shaven. Fucking had more battle rattle on me and patches on my shirt than. Yeah, we were. No, I was a goddamn for hire Nazi. And after I figured it out, I quit. It was kind of fun while I was doing it, but after I figured out what was going on, I fucking chucked it. I slung it, man. I said, I can do something better for humanity. And I really didn't make that much money. And I really didn't hear that much stuff that I thought was cool. It was just showboat for bullshit, and it's like, fuck this. My business partner was really cool, though. I really enjoyed working with him. I had two really good guys I worked with, though. And I give a shout out to my buddy, the Colonel. He knows who he is, and John. I'm glad he did really good doing what he did. He kind of chucked it too and became a first class medical guy. It's always nice to be a healer instead of a shooter. Anyway, shout out to them guys. I really miss my business partner, the Colonel. Just because we were armed to the teeth and batshit crazy. It was fun. Got to do a couple of jobs for one of the most nefarious people that ever graced the Aspen Institute. I'm not even sure I should say his name. I'll just say the Admiral because the Colonel knows who I'm talking about. And it doesn't have anything to do with that dude's tractor I fixed either. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't say, if I say the names, I know that they'll fucking come down on my ass. And I'm lucky enough to be back on YouTube and lucky enough to be back on everywhere. And I know this has evolved into just one hell of a rant. But I'm going to put this up on Odyssey. There's lots of crazy people on Odyssey. Well, they're not crazy. Long-haired freaky motherfuckers like me. But over there I gotta say long-haired freaky motherfucker. I can't say that on YouTube. But anyways, that's going on to about an hour and 30 minutes. I'll spare you from the rest. Thanks a bunch. Please hit the subscribe, and share button. And the live chat was going very well here. And next time I will throw in some pictures of girls in their swimwear and shotguns and shit like that, just for fun. Okay, and I'll even start the show off with that. And I promise it won't go so long. But I had to just rant and post this up on Odyssey and do it. You know, if you just got to be there and do it sometimes. Thanks, bunch. Later.